What is going on, guys? It's AryA back again. We are now in the year 2018 and we are slowly but surely approaching the release of the next Treyarch game. So I thought I'd make a video ranking the zombies maps in Black Ops 3 from worst to best. Just on a little side note, I will not be including the maps in the Zombies Chronicles map pack. I do have another video on my channel where I rank all the Zombies Chronicles maps from worst to best. I will also end up talking about those maps again on a future video where I will rank all the maps in all of Treyarch Zombies from worst to best. So with all that being said, let's get right into the video. Number 6. Zetsubou no Shima. In all honesty, I don't hate this map. There were a lot of mechanics in this map that Treyarch had implemented that were really trying to push the boundaries of what you can do in zombies. They were really innovative. It's no secret that Treyarch is very ambitious with their zombies mode, and they tried to implement a lot of new mechanics into this map. The problem is 75% of those mechanics are not very practical. Let me give you an example. Let's look at the plant system. You kill zombies, they drop a seed. You'll plant the seed and then you'll water it once per round for 3 rounds in a row. If you used blue water, you'll either get a power-up or a weapon. If you used green water, you'll get this plant that will hold a crawler for you, and you can freely go around the map and do whatever you want without having to worry about holding a zombie. If you used purple water, you'll get this plant that will attract zombies to itself and will kill them one by one. If you used all 3 colors, you'll get a fruit, and once you eat that fruit, you'll get an extra perk. This whole plant system sounds like a wonderful idea on paper, but if you're trying to set up, your first objective is to turn on the power and get Juggernog as fast as you can. And in order to turn on the power in this map, you have to open up a lot of doors, so you're gonna have to need a lot of points. So you'll have a lot on your plate. Now let's say you've played this map 10 times. By the 11th playthrough, you're not gonna want to touch the plant system. There is way too much to do in this map in order to just get set up. You have to turn on generator A and then generator B and then open up the bunker, do a lockdown sequence underwater to turn on the power. By the time you do that, you probably don't even have enough points to buy Juggernog. So you'll probably have to spend another round getting enough points in order to get Jug. And then you can build the shield and then the gas mask. After that, you have to do 4 rituals to get the skull of non-Sapway and get 3 parts for the KT4 and then get 3 more parts for the upgraded KT4, and not to mention how difficult getting some of those parts can be. I mean, you have to fight a giant spider, water a plant underwater, and do 3 random challenges, and some of those challenges can be really difficult. And in addition to all of that, the layout of the map itself is very difficult. It's built to be difficult. The combination of a tedious setup process and a not so noob-friendly layout made this map to be the least replayable map in all of Black Ops 3 Zombies. And with that being said, there are a couple of things that I really like about this map. Even though the main Easter egg steps are not my favorite, and I don't like giving up one of my gobblegum slots just so I can do a single step in the entire Easter egg, the ending cutscene was truly a work of art. The dialogue between Takeo 1.0 and Takeo 2.0 was really well done. The second feature that I really love about this map is the skull of non-Sapway, which I have to say is my favorite specialist weapon in Black Ops 3 Zombies. Number 5. Revelations. Revelations is not a bad map by any means, but I feel like the best word to describe Revelations with is underwhelming. Black Ops 3 had an amazing DLC season. The storyline material that they were giving us had everybody on the edge of their seats. People wanted to know more, and they needed answers. Instead, we were given an ending cutscene that posed more questions than answers. The Easter egg steps were brutal and really hard to discover, and that in and out of itself frustrated people. That's one problem with this map. Another problem I have with this map is that it's just too easy. You have the Apothecant Servant, which you can upgrade, you have the Thunder Gun, which you can Pack-a-Punch, you have the Little Arnie's, which then you can upgrade, and also you have the Ragnaroks, and you can get all of those out of the box. In addition to all of that, you'll have a lot of training areas in this map. You can train inside the Apothecon where the Pack-a-Punch is. You can train in the Spawn. You can train in Der Eisendrache in front of the Rift. You can train in the Kino stage. And I've even seen some people train in the Toten area of the map. It's just too easy, and the fact that you have to hit the box over and over and over again to get everything that you need makes this map to be not as replayable as the other maps in Black Ops 3. The thing I like about this map is the nostalgic atmosphere. When you go from one map to another and the music changes to the theme song of the map that you're in, is just awesome. One more thing that I think they got absolutely right is the way you open up Pack-a-Punch and turn on the power. I feel like it wasn't too easy and it wasn't too hard, and it was just right. Overall, I don't think Revelations is a bad map. I just think that it wasn't enough. Number 4. Shadows of Evil. Now I know Shadows of Evil is not exactly a popular map, but I think it's very underrated, and personally I believe it's a masterpiece. The layout of the map is great, I love the Apothecon sword, and my favorite wonder weapon of all time, the Apothecon Servant, was first introduced in this map, and I really like the amount of crazy side Easter eggs that this map has to offer. Upgrading the little Arnie Easter egg, which ends in a short cutscene that shows the little Arnie dancing, has to be one of the best side Easter eggs of all time. But don't get me wrong, for the people who don't like Shadows of Evil, I feel your pain. I completely understand where you're coming from. If you ever get into a public match in Shadows of Evil, you're in for a not so pleasant experience. You see, in order to turn on Pack-a-Punch, you have to do 5 rituals. If you want to complete those rituals as fast as possible, all the other players have to be in the room doing the ritual with you. And if not, and you just decide to do it by yourself, it takes much longer to complete. And since it's a small room and you're in there locked in by yourself while keepers and zombies are chasing you, there's a very good chance that you might go down. And with that being said, when you're playing a public match, there are players that don't really care about anything, they just want to hit the mystery box and kill some zombies, so they're not gonna join you in doing the rituals, and you're just gonna go in there doing it all by yourself, and you're gonna go down, and that makes for a bad experience. The rituals are what stopped Shadows of Evil from becoming one of the most popular maps of all time. If you just ignore that one problem, I feel like Shadows of Evil has a lot of other redeeming qualities. Number 3. The Giant. This map is a classic. REICH is such an iconic map that I feel like a remake in Black Ops 3 was absolutely necessary. Especially with Black Ops 3 having all these huge maps that have so much depth to them, the Giant was such a fan service to both the hardcore and the casual players. No buildables, no main Easter egg quest, no nonsense, just classic casual zombies gameplay. It's what any zombies fan could ever ask for. Get into a public match, hit the box, buy your perks, and sit on the catwalk and see how long you can survive. But with any map on this list, I talk about what I like, and I talk about what I don't like about the map. Well, there's not much that I don't like about the Giant, it's just that for the most part, I like maps that have a lot of depth to them, and the Giant doesn't in comparison to the other maps in Black Ops 3. And just one more small nitpick is that I would have loved to see the PPSH return in this map, but other than that, the Giant is an absolute legend of a map. Number 2. Der Eisendrache. When it comes to a Call of Duty game, the first DLC can make or break the lifespan of that game. If DLC 1 is not good, the chances are people won't care as much about the game after that. If it's a hit, then that solidifies the fact that there probably is a great DLC season ahead. And boy was this map a hit. There's just so much epicness packed in this one map. The dragons on the wall, the round change music, the conversations between Richtofen and Dr. Graf, the perfect layout with a great and efficient transportation system, the elemental bows, the Ragnaroks, the return of the infamous Panzer Soldat, the main Easter egg quest, the Giant Keeper boss fight, and of course, the ending cutscene. Everything in this map is just fun. There's no other way to say it. Sometimes I just play this map and upgrade all 4 bows simply because I genuinely find the upgrade steps to be fun. That's how good this map actually is. Now let's talk about why it's not number 1 on this list, because I know for many of you it would be. When it comes to innovation and implementing new mechanics in the map, it doesn't deliver as much as some of the other maps in Black Ops 3. Now keep in mind, I love Der Eisendrache. It is very dear to my heart, but feeding your dragons on the wall is pretty much a copy and paste from Mob of the Dead when you have to feed the dogs to get the Hell's Retriever. Also, playing Samantha Says as a main Easter egg step comes from Moon, and the concept of having 4 elemental wonder weapons comes from Origins, and so does the Panzer Soldat. One more small issue this map has is that the excitement from hitting the box is pretty much non-existent. There's nothing in the box that could possibly even come close to how powerful the bows are. And on top of that, opening Pack-a-Punch is just way too easy. Now this is kind of subjective, but Der Eisendrache is kind of an easy map. As long as you have a bow, you'll most likely be fine up until the point where the Panzer shows up, and that's almost regardless of the type of player that you are. The bows make you all too powerful, which in turn makes every other gun useless. But keep in mind, that still doesn't make the map any less fun. It's just that I personally would prefer to have at least one really good weapon in the mystery box so I could look forward to finally getting it out of the box. But there's so much positive in this map that it easily outweighs anything negative that you could possibly see in the beauty that is Der Eisendrache. Number 1. GerakRoi. After the release of the tedious and glitch fest of a map that was Zetsubou no Shima, Treyarch had to redeem themselves by giving back to the fans. The trailer for GerakRoi was only a minute and a half long, but it managed to blow everybody's minds away. When you watch that trailer, you'll notice that there is just so much happening in a very short amount of time. And most of the things that you see, you're seeing for the first time. You see zombies with red eyes, you see a Russian mangler, you see a mounted MG42, you see electric skeleton zombies with blue eyes, you see a giant dragon breathing down fire on the zombies, and they are running at you while they're on fire. You see Valkyrie drones flying around, you see a dragon shield, you see the 115 punch, the NX Shadow Claws, the Graf module. You can even see the Raygun Mark III for a brief second. And finally, you see the return of the one and the only PPSH, and the trailer ends with the dragon burning everything in sight. Now let's talk about why it's number 1 on this list. The layout of this map is perfect. It expands both vertically and horizontally, so it doesn't take forever to go from point A to point B. The sheer amount of innovation and new mechanics implemented in this map was just amazing. The Dragon Shield is an awesome feature which became incredibly popular, and you can actually upgrade it to make it shoot out red fire instead of green fire. The Dragon Strike is another cool feature that acts kinda like a monkey bomb, and you can upgrade it to get 2 Dragon Strikes per round instead of 1. I also love the Gauntlet of Siegfried Specialist. It's a baby dragon that you pretty much use as a flamethrower. You can let the dragon loose and he can kill zombies for you and collect power-ups. And at the same time, you can use your 115 punch to punch your way out of a bad situation. The addition of new weapons such as the FFAR, the NX Shadow Claws, the L4 Siege, the PPSH, and the Raygun Mark III brings some excitement back into the mystery box. I know that Raygun Mark III is pretty useless after round 40, but before then, it's a lot of fun to use, and it's really helpful if you're going for the main Easter egg. When Treyarch first decided to introduce the idea of intermediate bosses in Zetsubou no Shima, they didn't really get it right in my opinion. The Thrashers spawn way too frequently and can take a lot of bullets. But in GerakRoi, the Russian Mangler's health and the amount of damage that they can do to you is well balanced. When they shoot you, their shots kind of chase you and it's difficult to dodge them, but on the other hand, if you shoot their helmets and their arms off, you can easily take them out. If back in the Black Ops 1 days, someone told me that one day there will be a zombies map where you literally ride a dragon to pack-a-punch, I would call them crazy. Another small detail that's really cool is that the challenges you're given are not mandatory for the Easter egg. Instead, they're just there to reward you with some extra perk or a max ammo or a pack-a-punched weapon. In comparison to all the other maps in Black Ops 3, GerakRoi has a fast-paced gameplay. For example, if you get a nuke, the zombies will respawn much quicker than they would in the other maps. Another example is when you're doing the Graph modules, the rounds might skip and zombies don't stop spawning. The addition of time trials, which reward you with some sick melee weapons, is really awesome. I just love the clunking sound the wrench makes when I hit the zombies in the skull. The Monkey Bomb upgrade was also first introduced in this map. And since we're on the topic of new features, the idea of helmets were first introduced in this map as well. It's just another example of one of many new features we got in GerakRoi. And speaking of new things, Dr. Monty chooses to break the skies and actually talk to us for the first time. And last but not the least, the main Easter egg quest and the boss fight are absolutely my favorite things about this map. I like the challenges the Sophia gives you. The only one I don't really like is the Gersh one. Since I play on solo, it can get kind of annoying trying to find him and the time limit doesn't help at all, and that's pretty much the only thing I don't like about GerakRoi. The boss fight, in my opinion, is the best boss fight in zombies yet. You fight the dragon with Nikolai's help, and then you have to fight the drunken madman himself. It's just pure epicness, and that's why GerakRoi comes in at number 1. And that is our list, guys. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.